Welcome to Fjällräven Polar, and this is day number 4. Last night, when the participants arrived to the camp, the wind was gradually picking up, and I think this will actually continue to be a challenge and maybe a struggle also for some of the participants throughout the week.
We are out here in windy terrain and it gets even worse, and we need 4 people to pitch our tent. Yesterday there were just 2 and they were pretty enough. So yeah, but we will make it.
What is the most difficult part?
Well, it's to keep the tent down there and to get the poles in it. You have to pull very hard.
Well, it's pretty windy, so the only way to kind of keep the tent down at the moment without pegs is bodies. So I've got a bit of a master plan, and I'm going to pitch our tent behind other people's tents to cut some of the wind out.
We definitely learned a lot about each other and how we communicate from day 1, and it's a lot better today.
So if you were to bring like one good thing with you for tomorrow, what would that be?
A good night's sleep. Yeah, a good night's sleep maybe, yeah.
So how are you organizing inside a tent?
Yeah, well, it's like we have a systems in our backpacks, yeah, like where we put our pants, and we are talking each other like, okay, let's put the clothes there on the top and these yellow clothes here, and you can see the clothes there on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sleeping on the left side, she's sleeping on the right side.
Yeah.
This is our living room, kitchen kind of thingy.
Fjällräven Polar is an ongoing process and journey for all the participants. And one thing they really have to learn to handle is the tent and sleeping bag, and also see it as a whole system in order to protect and shield themselves from the sometimes really tough conditions. Kalle, our event manager, he wants to show us how to.
The body is a sensitive organism when it comes to temperature. We want to keep the temperature inside of the body at 37 degrees also when we're sleeping. That's why we construct a system to protect the body and preserve the heat. This system consists of a shelter to protect from wind and precipitation, and in this time we're using a tent, a thermal tent with an inner and an outer tent. Inside of the tent we have a sleeping mat on the ground. On top of the sleeping mat we have the sleeping bag, and that is the most essential piece, of course, in order to preserve the heat during the night. The higher the loft of the sleeping bag, the better the sleeping bag can conserve the heat that the body produces. And it's important to remember when we're talking about getting a good night's sleep that the heat that we put down into the sleeping bag, the body heat that we have when we go into bed, is the heat that we're going to preserve. When you're out in the outdoors, there are basically 2 ways to generate heat. One way is to move your body, physical activity. The other way is to add an external heat source. A bottle with warm water that you can secure tightly and then put in the sleeping bag. It's a perfect treat to have in the tent when you wake up also. So you have warm water when you wake up.
Today we are looking forward to another day in this never-ending white landscape.
Sparks fly with you. I want to start a fire. Can I put it out there?
Yeah, yesterday was my first time, and like first few minutes I was like woo, but after a few minutes I was like I had like lots of emotions came to my mind. To be honest, I cried a little bit. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it because this is not just for like excitement, because like we have a long way to go. I'll do my best until the end, yeah.
It's unreal. You can't describe this to anybody. You just, no amount of pictures that I share or none of the videos I watched even get me close to just what it feels like to be here.
For me, it gives like mortality motivation, if you know what I mean. Just you realize how small you are and how life should be lived. I mean, I think I will never say ever again in my everyday life that I'm tired, because when you think you're tired, there's still something more that you can do, but you have to do.
The teams are now arriving to Kattovuoma after an amazing day. And we started off on the Arctic tundra, and now we are back below the tree level. And along the way we've had some fantastic views and sceneries. Tomorrow you gotta be ready for some high speed and action.